If you're new to management and leadership, you almost certainly have tons to learn. Honestly, even if you've been managing for decades like I have, you still have more to learn. In this video, I'm going to lay out some of the things that I think engineers who become managers most often get wrong. Hey, how's it going? This is Scruffy Leadership, a YouTube channel about management and leadership aimed particularly at software engineers. My name's Ben, and I've been a leader and a manager in the tech industry in the UK and the US for over 25 years. Before that, I was a software engineer, so I've made the transition from being an engineer to being a manager myself and have helped dozens of other people do it successfully too. Okay, let's get on with the list of things to avoid. Number one, micromanaging. This is really common among new managers and unfortunately not so new managers as well. People develop this sense that if they're not involved in everything, then things are going to go wrong, or maybe things will go right, but they'll get no credit. Both of these ideas are wrong-headed. If you need to be involved in everything to make things go well, there's something pretty fundamentally wrong. Of course, sometimes you'll have a very junior team member who needs mentorship and a lot more support, but even then, maybe you're better off giving that mentorship task to another member of the team rather than doing it yourself. And if you're afraid you'll get no credit for the work, well, maybe you're in the wrong job. I mean, I'm kidding, but seriously, if you are a manager, you're going to get credit for your team's accomplishments. That's just how it works. Why does this matter? Well, it's because people need room to do their own work, to make their own mistakes and learn from them. It's more rewarding for them, they'll grow faster and you'll have a more effective team. But also, if you spend all your time micromanaging people, you're not using that time for other things. And of course, people just generally hate being micromanaged. Number two, avoiding the hard conversations. This is a really tough one. You want things to be smooth sailing and harmonious, and I'm sure they will be most of the time. But at some point, you're going to have some hard conversations that you need to have. Say someone's not performing well, or you have to take some responsibility away from someone and give it to someone else, or maybe someone's behavior is causing problems in your team. Whatever it is, it's almost always the case that saying something quickly and directly and clearly is the best thing. Don't sugarcoat it, don't wrap it in compliments. That might leave people feeling good, but it also leaves them feeling confused, not quite sure what you're really saying. What you should do is be very direct. Hey, I noticed that you've been talking over people in team meetings a lot recently. I think when you do this, it stifles people's creativity and makes our team less effective overall. Let's talk about how I can help you address this. The person who hears this definitely knows that you're pointing out a problem and that you expect them to resolve it, but they also know you're there to help them. Mistake number three, coding instead of managing. There's probably a parallel in other roles, but if you used to be a software engineer and you moved into management, you should definitely watch out for this one. It's easy to recognize. Did you spend your day with headphones on writing code? If so, are you really sure that was the best use of your time? The thing the team most needed from you? Maybe, but probably not, and definitely not every day. More likely, you have a list of other things to do that just seem more intractable. That's probably because they involve humans. Computers are easy, humans are hard. But your job as a manager is much more about humans than it is about computers. So if you feel yourself tempted to put off dealing with that difficult situation and focus on fixing a bug instead, you probably need to resist the temptation. Maybe you can let yourself fix a bug as a reward once you've solved the gnarlier problem. I don't mean to imply that software engineering is easy. It's not, of course, but I've often seen this pattern emerge where someone who's transitioning or has recently transitioned from being an engineer to being a manager sticks in their comfort zone, which means coding rather than tackling the problems that actually no one else can tackle because they feel like they're just too difficult. Mistake number four, friendship. You'll often hear it said that you can't be friends with someone if you're their manager. It's almost always true. But on the other hand, it doesn't mean you can't have really meaningful relationships with the people you manage. But if you and your reports see each other as friends, it makes it much harder to be really honest, to give feedback and to deal with difficult situations when they arise. If you have a relationship built on mutual respect and trust, not only will your team members perform better in the good times, but it'll make it a lot easier to deal with the hard times. I have a whole video on this subject. I'll link it below. Number five, being too honest. This is a really tricky one. If you're like many of the engineers I've managed, you believe in straightforward honesty and transparency. In fact, it probably is even a core value for you. So the idea that you should not always be completely honest might seem kind of alien. So let me be really clear about this. In general, yes, you should be transparent and honest with your team. See my point earlier about giving tough feedback. But there are times when you need to hold back. You're a manager and your team members probably aren't, and that brings some additional burdens for you. If you're having an off day and feeling really stressed about an upcoming deliverable, You might be tempted to vent in front of your team, and yes, that shows them you're human and that you're willing to share your vulnerability with them, but it also could scare them. You're the boss. If you're scared, maybe they should be scared too. This doesn't mean you have to adopt the old British stiff upper lip all the time and never show weakness. But here's the thing, the day you were made a manager, your team started looking at you differently, and they started hearing what you say differently as well. Everything you say, every facial expression is now being scrutinized by your team for hidden meaning. And if the meaning you're transmitting is really clear and negative, you can believe they'll pick up on that and they'll be worried about it. Here's another example. If someone in your team says something that you think's maybe a bit dumb in a meeting and your reaction is to scowl and look like you think they're an idiot, that will have about 100 times more impact on their self-esteem than if you weren't their manager. If they say something that you feel you really need to address with them, then fine, take them aside after the meeting and talk to them in private about it. But if your honest reaction is written all over your face, they'll interpret it in the worst possible way. My boss hates me and thinks I'm an idiot. I'll probably be fired next week. And that leads us onto the subject of psychological safety. Watch this video here to find out more about psychological safety and the steps you should be taking right now to make your team more successful. And if you found the tips in this video useful, please do subscribe to the channel. I have lots more useful insights to share. And if you really found it useful, maybe consider hitting the like button, which will help this video reach more people like you that are looking for advice on becoming a better manager.